Today I want to talk to you about sending one satellite receiver to two TVs in your house. A dilemma some people might face is having only one satellite receiver or say cable box and having two TVs. How do you split one satellite receiver or cable box up between two TVs? Well, today I'm going to show you one possible solution. So one possible solution for sending a satellite receiver to a second room is to use one of these. It's an RF modulator, and there's lots of companies that make these. What they do is take the video signal, in this case through RCA jacks, and input it into this device, and then it outputs it as an RF signal. And you can use this on channel 3 or 4 and simply run it through a piece of coax cable. This straight up coax cable you probably have installed in your house already. The only trick would be to make sure you have a piece of coax running from this device to the room that you want to send the video signal to. So that might take a little bit of work there. Now in this case I'm using RCA outputs because I'm going to be using the HDMI output on this for my main TV. If your device doesn't have RCAs though, you can get adapters for HDMI to RCA. Sometimes you might not even need one of these if your receiver has an RF out, but it's not as common today for receivers to have RF out because most people want to use an HD picture. So that's what I'm going to set up today, is this RF modulator coming out of the back of my living room satellite receiver, send the signal to another room. And then after this is only the problem of how do we use a remote control to control this receiver if we're in another room. So to solve the problem of using a remote control from a different room to control your receiver, you can use a set of these. These are infrared remote extenders. And how they work is this transmitter goes by the second TV you're connecting to. This receiver goes by your satellite receiver you want to control remotely. And how this works is when you point the remote control at this pyramid and press a button, the infrared signal is captured by this and converted to an RF signal, like a radio or TV signal. And RF signals travel through walls much better than infrared signals. It sends this RF signal to the receiver. This receiver then converts the RF signal back to an infrared signal and sends the infrared signal to your satellite receiver in the primary room. Thus, you're able to control your satellite receiver from a second room. So let's go inside now and connect all this, and we'll see how this works in a real situation. Okay, so here's the setup inside. First, I connected the RCA jacks to the back of the satellite receiver and then ran those into the RF modulator. And the RF signal will travel out to the TV in the other room, and that's set to channel 3. And for the remote control, I have the receiver portion of the infrared remote extender in front of the satellite receiver. So when I use the remote in the other room, it'll send the signal right to the receiver and control it from the second room. And all I did in the second room here was set up the pyramid for the remote transmitter and also plug the coax into the back of the TV, and you can see we're using channel 3. This is not HD, this picture, but that's okay. That doesn't bother me. And now just by aiming the remote at the pyramid, I can control the satellite receiver in the other room. And if you don't mind not having an HD picture, then this setup might be for you. This is one way to send a satellite receiver to two different TVs in your house.